Asia Champions League 2024? Like, did they ever
Alright guys,
expect
welcome back to
to
my
make it to the
channel,
grand
and
finals
together
to
we are
begin with?
watching the exciting match
It's
and
the
the
dream,
first game
the ultimate
between
goal, sure.
Team Kabichans versus Team TG, which is True Gravity. Alright, so now why I'm really excited about this game is because, I mean, Kabichans is pretty much up there, right? They have been in the upper bracket and they won all the way, correct? So I'm really curious how good they are and whether they can actually break the winning streak of Team True Gravity over here. I mean, look at that. Kabichans actually is Asia League second, so meaning they're actually the runner-up. United Holy was actually the winner, but somehow United Holy actually lost, right? So let's see if actually they can actually win this game
What is going to
against
happen in
Team
this
True
upcoming
Gravity.
matchup? I know we're all waiting with bated breath that these players get ready to jump into the
This is the
draft.
grand
Now, I
final,
do want
guys.
to
For you
remind all
guys
of our
who
viewers, we are still
don't
playing the
know,
single draft for the grand
can
final.
probably see how
And
serious Team
unlike
TG
last
is.
year, for last year's ACL
Alright,
final,
Memphis
it
has
was a
started.
best of 5 grand final, no reset. But for
So
this
Team
year, it is
Kabichans
slightly
represented by
different. We have the
KS.
best of 3 grand final, but there is a chance for reset. So for the reset to happen, it would have to be True Gravity to win the first best of 3 to force the reset, and then there's going to be another best of 3 where we determine who is going to be the champion. And it's a big ask, but True Gravity, they have proved a lot of people wrong thus far, and they're about to put India on the map.
Yeah, Team TG cannot prove wrong people wrong so far.
But this is going to be a very grand statement.
I have high expectations again. Team TG over here.
We don't really have a lot of
Really. I mean, they have been proving everybody wrong. They climb all the way up here, so naturally I'll be expecting them to win, right, guys? But let's look at Team Kabichans over here. So they choose Interior, Crustle, and Blaziken.
There's a lot
Oh,
here
Blaziken,
on the line for both of these
super
teams. Let's
interesting.
talk about some of the Pokemon that we could be looking at for
And
game number 1
Venusaur.
for both of these
Alright,
teams.
I kind of like this lineup as well. Slightly different than what we've been watching so far.
With the standard picks,
But
about
they do still have Crustle and
one from Kabichans.
BC over here, so it's not as soft.
Love to go for in
And for the Venusaur, chose Pedal Dance, gonna be another body over there. And Blaziken, even though it's an all-rounder, the HP is actually not very thick. So it's more on the damage over here.
Well, I mean, Blaziken is the craziest thing to come
But
out
I'm
of
not sure whether
Kabichans.
they're actually picking this so that they can hack your opponent's team's attackers over here. Because the Team TG go with their standard pick over here, Slowbro, Blastoise for the tank, Clippable with the pre-tanky as well, and then Glaceon for the jungle, Sylveon for the attacker.
How strong is our team fight as well?
Yeah,
means
Blastoise.
They have early game composition, they have also late game skill.
My eyes pretty much on him, guys, for Team TG.
Someone fits in some of the scenarios, especially going against a team who also has very similar ideas, as they also like to scale towards that late game by bringing in an additional multi-evolution Pokemon.
Yeah, and most importantly for this matchup, this is the first time both of these teams are meeting each other in person. We don't know what the situation is for scrims.
Oh yes,
maybe they
actually
just scrim each other
these
leading
two
up to
teams
the
are
tournament,
they met
as
for the
most
first time.
competitors do when they meet. But if they haven't, this is going to be a first for everybody.
Yes, definitely for sure.
Man,
I'm actually really having a quite the ball, right? Like, think with this way, right? Kabichans is unlike their senior Unite
They've been playing the game for like forever, 24/7.
That will be the weapon representative coming from the side here for Unite Holic. But for Sire Kabichans, they're like a great sword. May not have the highest accuracy, but they have one.
But for some reason, okay, I actually really like Team Kabichans over here. The draft, just because it's really is different from the typical. But I cannot share the feeling that Team TG is actually has a really good chance as well. So that's the thing. It's gonna be pretty equal until the gameplay itself begins now. Alright, finally it started. Okay, so naturally Torchic is going to take the jungle over here, Glacian's going to take the jungle over here, same.
Okay, I have a question.
Oh, question.
Is there a chance that Blaziken may
Why do
be
you guys
banned here
touch
by
it
Team
here?
True Gravity? Because Kabichans have done this
The
in
farm
every
is
single
actually
game
really fast
one, I
because of the
believe.
skills.
No
Like
one has banned it, no one has
EV
picked it
over
from
here.
them, so it has been a
Because
free pick for this
only
team.
when it turns
Do you
to
think True
Glaceon, then
Gravity,
it
they're
can
going
be
to pick up
faster.
on this and say, maybe it's the Blaziken that's the issue here. So at the moment, it looks like Leafeon's going to be held over by Kabichans, and Team True Gravity going to go back for the classic Umbreon ban. As I do believe it's going to be first pick for Kabichans, and yes, it is. Inteleon going in the way of Kabichans.
The thing is, you really need to prepare for the fact that Kabichans is definitely going to see starting
Inteleon
things
has
strong
left
here.
forward
With
here,
both the
got a
Leafeon and
free
Umbreon,
XP from
definitely one of the few go-to priority picks so far to this entire series.
Glaceon went
Started
for
things
the
off with the Inteleon. They
first
somehow
over here.
secured that back line here. But what's about the remaining? And
The
like
other
you
other than
mentioned,
Ascus here.
not playing around, not waiting out for the Buzzwole. They decide to bring in the Blaziken here to really the scale
And then they're kind of
alongside
going all out
with the
over here
Inteleon.
for
However,
this
this
final
time
raid.
they do not really have the blaster to
Look at
really
him.
pair alongside
This
with
is
them as
so
they will
tanky.
prioritize in getting that crossfall for
What the-
themselves here.
Oh, pretty interesting choice here. And whoa, look at the choice of Pokemon. Alrighty, so we do have a full draft here for both of these teams. Inteleon, Crustle, Blaziken, Blissey, and Venusaur going up against that Clefable, Blastoise, Sylveon, Slowbro. And we're looking for the last pick here for Team True Gravity. What is it going to be for their
Has to be a
central
diver.
lane? It's
Oh.
going to be the Glaceon. This is a Pokemon that we have seen
Okay,
True Gravity have a
so
lot of
Venusaur is
success with
going
as
for
well. Game number 1 is set. We're going to have our players
absorb,
switch their Pokemon,
heal,
but looking at
trigger.
this, it's standard across the
If
board,
he's going for
nothing
better
crazy.
than he's going to
This
be
is so
taking
amazing.
over
Because,
there.
but I am a little bit concerned because I am told it's definitely going to be running that Crustle. I did mention a few times. I'm still going to say it again. An absolutely insane Crustle defender player, absolutely unhinged. Definitely fantastic for really setting things up. Late game scaling wise, you see the hands here of Team Kabichans absolutely
The
solid.
rotation is pretty good
again,
so far from both
you
teams.
can't really like sub out Glaceon because Glaceon's I believe Glaceon is the only EV evolution Pokemon who has really great late game scaling as well compared to the
But there's
side
one
here
thing that I
of
realized
other
in
EV
PG
evolution.
never did
Yeah,
anymore,
the
which is
SPL
being
will still be
greedy,
assured
chasing
because some really great damage coming in from the Hyper Voice.
This happened
And
in
of
the
course,
earlier
Frontal, if they want to
match
assert their dominance, I
of
think it's really
PG,
possible for
but
them.
right now,
really, Danny, like let's
yeah,
just
they
take
seem to
a
be
step
quite
back from all this,
disciplined.
right? Seriously, like take a moment to
Alright,
really
so
like compose
Blaziken.
themselves, right?
Oh.
Like, put yourself, like everyone seriously online and offline, put yourself in the shoes
Okay,
of
so
these
Blaziken
human
managed to
beings,
escape.
controller and console at their fingertips, doing what they have been doing countless times at
So
this
kind
point
of
here,
roaming
right?
top and bottom.
And but this time,
to have
we're all here to witness
view over here.
they make personal history and game history. This is exactly
Alright,
what
Petal
Pokemon
Dance.
Unite ACL is all
So,
about, Danny.
Kabichans
And we're
do
finally
have
getting ready to
4
go into a
people,
very fast round.
3
You know what?
Pokemon who are quite
I'm a
tanky
little
over
bit
here,
worried about here. I
Crustle,
feel like
Venusaur, and Blissey.
Team True Gravity, I think they let Kabichans have their best Pokemon, or what they prefer, right? I
Okay.
think they've given them their preferred Pokemon on purpose. And it makes me think that maybe they're playing some mind games here, because we've seen True Gravity just give away their opponent's
Look at them,
signature
man.
Pokemon.
3
Sure, they
versus
could have
2, and
countered
yet
them,
the
but
2
they'd rather
people
just say,
barely
"That's
has their
fine,
HP
we'll fight
reduced
into
down.
you because we got what we wanted." And remember as well, Dragonite has not been chosen at all, and it looks like they're going to be saving it in their back pocket for Team True Gravity. Now the thing is, Kabichans can also play that Dragonite. It's been a very popular choice in Japan.
Because they do
But
have
let's
like
jump into
3
this game here,
people.
folks. Game
Iconic.
1
There's a higher chance to
of
get
the
Reggie
grand
Leki.
final against Kabichans and True Gravity. Who's going to be taking this first game, and are we possibly looking at a reset?
This is really hard to tell, and and that is a question that I even am finding it really hard to decide. Both teams have so much potential, so much strength, but of course, look at it, a very instant dive trying to secure as many of these fruits. We'll try to eject by the out to safety, but will not find a chance. But guess what? This Torchic,
Blaziken,
although yes,
he's
Torchic
actually
going
pretty
to
good,
that area
guys.
is prime target for some invasion. But they're not really
Gonna
coming
learn
around
the
because they also
Blaziken
have
over here
a
from the
couple
pro
of
player.
to try to get focus.
From
And
the top
prioritize
2, guys,
those
top 2.
EXP. None can really find the time to really spare to really try to go for the invasion. Just in
It's a
case
drop kick,
one
am
of these
I right?
to really get
It's the
bullied out the
Blaziken
lane,
skill.
they need to contest
Drop
for that
kick to run
EXP
away.
and levels.
I do like the choice for Icy Wind here on this Glaceon as
Oh,
well.
yes.
You're going to have some movement around this Crystal as well as that Blaziken if you do get dove upon. So very safe choice here on the side of True Gravity. Lanes so far are not looking too bad for either side.
It's
Not
only
looking like any
Crustle
lane
and
crushers
Each Other at
yet,
bottom lane.
because
Yeah.
Blaziken still not
Team
fully
KS still
online.
managed to
Topo's
win
just
the
trying to
ball
get
games
up to that
against
Blaziken before he's going to go absolutely ham. But I hope True Gravity are aware of this, that this is how Kabichans like to play. They can be a little bit passive in those lanes, but once Vitopo is ready to go, I hope your central laner is ready to match him. Now, his matchup is going to be up against that Glaceon, and he might actually be, might be a really good way to keep this Blaziken
They are
in
passive?
check, because teams that
No,
have gone
guys,
against Kabichan up
Team
until
KS
now,
is not
game
passive at
#1,
all, commentators.
we haven't seen anyone comfortably
They are
able to
just
deal
playing
with
it
that
smart,
Blaziken. We haven't seen any
in
central
my
area
opinion. I mean,
invades. We
you
haven't
can
seen
tell that they are
Scorpion
actually
dominated.
observing as well.
Let's see if the solution is here
They're
for True
aggressing at
Gravity.
the right time, as compared to Team Talon, Team YS, and Team E Arena, which are just aggressive all the way. But Team KS seems to be like, their movement seems to be calculating before they do something.
Still 1 level away before he
Kind of
gets
the feeling
to
that I
that
got.
Masters as well. And then Ivysaur really slowed down here. But I guess that's what happens when you're going up against.
Yeah, look at the BC, the Castle with the
the
ulti, the BC with the heal, and the
Pokemon.
Venusaur with the
Sure,
absorb,
Razor Leaf is
and
pretty
Italian
good,
with the
but
long
with all this
range.
rotation coming in from the Glaceon here, he didn't really aim to find that opportunity. But then again, was able to get a nice on top of the
Oh, the
Vitobo here,
block!
and even forced out the eject, but a defensive one, but also pressure them enough with the Rock Tomb alone.
Perfect timing there from Tomato, possibly saving his teammate there with Topo. He is going to be pressured by Zeshol a little bit by that Sylveon. Just going to chip him away. No full commitment. It's just a Sylveon. But that's already one movement coming up from Kabichans, just being denied.
Blaziken with the,
if they got
what's
that
that thing
KO, I
called?
think that
Over
actually would have
here,
been the momentum that they're
something,
looking for. Remember,
because it has the
True
slow
Gravity,
effect, so
they
Italian can
are
actually
popping
snipe
off on
more
momentum
properly.
today after all of these wins. Objective-wise, though, Kabichans, they've got their eyes set on getting the experience. They have that Regirock buff, so they're going to have that for at least this part of the game. But up top, though, they're going to fight for that Regi Alekia. This
I
is
wonder
True
if Team
Gravity is
KS
gonna fully commit for this objective. They're pushing away this
actually
Venusaur
have
and
read
Lissy. The
the
team is still
gameplay
on
of
that
Team
bottom
TG
lane,
over
but
here,
another
because
steal
Team
here
TG
by
has been
Kata, that would be
playing
fantastic, but
the same
no, it's actually going to
draft
be
pick over and
the
over again.
Fable to get that final hit on the Regi
What do you
Alekia.
guys
Yeah,
think?
it's relatively challenging as well.
Because Team
Going up
TG
against
seems to
both
be
the
really struggling
Blasters
over
and
here
the Glacier.
to
Basically,
make a move
versus
and
2
put
for
a
that Regi
pressure on
Alekia.
TKS.
If they manage to get it, of course, that will be a very massive bonuses. But even if they don't, not
Meanwhile,
really
for Team
a lot
KS,
lost to them, because their goal is just to get
they
these
have plenty
levels.
of time to
Keep
watch
up with the race. They're all late. They're
and
really
plenty
great
of
skating
rest as
Pokemon.
well.
Just try to
I
get
have
as
to
much
say.
levels possible before you get to the record.
Because all these low bracket and grand final
and
happening on the same day.
I have to say, this is probably the slowest
yeah.
we've actually seen Kabichans play in their series thus far. We're so used to seeing them diving on top of their opponents, but they're playing defense this game. They're trying to make sure that True Gravity, their rotations are effectively blocked. But the
I
same
see.
thing's happening here for Kabichans,
So-
right? They're focusing on their macro, trying to get this experience.
The
hoping to
commentators
get
say
into this late
actually
game.
Team
They
KS
find
plays
an
out
opening,
more
though,
of like a
surely
diving
Kabichans
kind of
will try to make
gameplay.
that play happen.
But
at the
in
same
this
time, they can't
game,
afford to
they
make
are more
those mistakes.
defensive
They're going up against
and
a lineup that
slower.
will be really
So I guess
deadly,
they
especially once
actually
Red
have
Closer
been
hits
playing
that
quite
field.
aggressively.
I totally understand.
But somehow in this game they are playing defensive.
Because
This kind of,
still fighting into
I really have this
and
assumption
Hydro Typhoon are very
whereby
aggressive team fight.
they actually might have
Solo ability as
changed
well.
their
It's gonna be quite
tactics just
disruptive,
because
especially for
they have
one
watched
of
how
the
Team
Blaziken,
TG
who
play a
doesn't
lot
really
of
like to be
times.
disrupted.
Team
A
TG is
Hydro
a
Typhoon
very
into
defensive kind
gravity,
of player,
even
right? I
the
would
Blaziken
say
will
like
have a really hard
they
time, but at the
defense and
same
then
time, leveling
basically
is
defense
really
is
all
good
about here
offense
because it's all
for
about
Team
the
TG
skill.
over
It's
here.
really all about the blood.
So that's why
Like
maybe
you said,
Team
you
KS
don't want to
playing
take
more
any
carefully
chances
because
here.
of that.
You don't want to take any necessary risks unless
Because
an
they don't want to
opportunity
make
does
any
arise.
blunders
A
as
little
well
bit
as
of
any chances,
extension maybe or
any odds
desperation,
as
but I don't
well.
think we're going to be seeing that
They
kind of
are
desperation
trying to
just
play
yet
more
until
decisively.
that
I mean,
record
look at
They've
this.
still got a couple of
Team
more
KS has
minutes
been
left to go.
shooing Team
But look
TG
at
away
this.
to the
Blaziken
point
is
that
just
Team,
one of those
the
few
Slogo
all
has to
similar category
steal
where
some point.
handling
Never seen
objectives
this in
like
Team
objectives
TG
like
before.
Redis is
Oh,
25
top
for example,
lane,
but
though.
nice catch
Oh, that
to
was
secure the
pretty clean,
Reginald,
that was
and that
pretty
bonus
clean.
buff actually is
Ooh.
elevating some of the team members to the top buff to give them the necessary durability as they give
Oh,
for
that's
this
a
couple
pretty
skirmish.
This was a
play.
4v4 as well, as we are looking at two Pokemon
Okay,
in
so
that
Team
bottom
TG
lane.
tried
With that
to
little Fable, you've
down
run
their
out of
shield and
sustain
kick
here
them
for True
away
Gravity.
as
Now
much as
keep in mind,
possible,
there's
but
two
they still
defenders and
lost.
the
There's
Glaceon.
a team
Let's see
kill
if they're
over
going to be
here.
able to pull anything off here.
Alright,
They
so
do
this
serve into
game
the
is probably
majority
being
of
taken by
Kabichans.
Team
But the last
KS.
hit for the Regieleki, who's going to be able to get it?
Team
It's a
gameplay over here.
Blissey of all Pokemon.
No, it
And
makes
now
me
it's
curious
Kabichans
how Team
turning
KS has been
onto
playing
True
like their
Gravity.
normal
3
game
Pokemon
style.
knocked out. They've got 2
Do you watch the upper
Slapshot
bracket
connecting
matches?
onto that
Like their
Sylveon.
replays?
This Regieleki
What do you
will
guys
go
think?
into that
Please
goal zone,
leave
and we've got some free points
comments
being
down below.
scored by Kabichans. It's just Vulcan.
Otherwise, I'll
Oh,
just
it's
be
so
watching
much
myself.
damage. Now finally Kabichans
Just to learn.
grouping up as a group of 5 here. Just insane amount of damage.
Okay,
You got the
so
Hydro Fusion, you
yeah,
got
I
Moonlight,
mean,
but you
Venusaur
cannot withstand against that kind of
is
damage.
tanky. The
Rock
Blaziken is
into
actually
the
very
Verdant
tanky
angle.
as well.
Nice timing to try to force the Blaziken back, but that's not
It's
really
a
going to be
really
stopping
neat play
a lot
by
from trouble is that
King
not enough
KS.
follow-up or not enough control here.
the efficiency for those goal scores as well. Kabichans are taking this game 100%
Yeah, the team
serious.
Kabichans
They're
actually
not
seem
falling
to
for
be
that trap that a lot
pretty
of other teams
efficient.
competing today did. So we are
Oh, I
at
actually
the
have no
3-minute
comments. Like,
mark here,
what fun
folks. One more minute to go before Rayquaza hits that field. So these
and
teams
normal
are going to
strategy
try
was
and get as
begin.
much
What
experience as possible.
will Team
And if you're
TG change
Kabichans, you're going to want to try to force
game,
out
or
some
they going
premature
to take
Unite
it?
moves here. We do see
Team
Vitoppo being
KS
caught there by
only
the
have
surf,
one
but
more
it's just the
week until
Blastoise
they
and
get the
Clefable.
trophy.
There's not really too much threat here for that Blaziken. Glaceon, though, will
Will
be
Team
making that
TG win
appearance.
next
They're
game
going
or
to be
Team
doing a
KS
little
win
bit there
next game?
to the Blissey.
You
Not
guys
so
please
much to threaten
leave your
the
choice
Blissey's
of
knockout,
team.
but it's
Team of
it's
choice.
it's a race here for this
Uh,
experience. I have to say the invades
the
coming
comment
out from
section below.
Kabichans
So,
really trying to starve out True Gravity.
man,
Look at that, they even drew
how
like
this
a, I guess you
100?
could say like a
Hey.
very virtual line across the
Yo, I
central
think I
area. They're like,
should
you
look at
can't cross this line. This is our territory. This is ours for the taking here. 20 seconds before the Rayquaza spawns in as well. But remember, Kabichan is in full control, not in terms of score, not just in
Those
terms of AOS energy score, levels, but also positioning-wise. Trying to get as much intel as much as possible, but also not too far with the goalpost to really try to defend it and try to defend against backcappers.
Yeah, so very big
Italian as
level
well,
gap
actually,
between
nothing
these two
to
teams.
do
We're
with
looking at
that.
2 level 13s on
Man.
the side of Kabichans and just the
Yeah.
Glaceon for True Gravity.
Yeah.
So
Yo, on the
with
hindsight,
only 70 points in their
what
pockets,
you
it's up to
having
True Gravity to somehow figure out if they can get these back caps in,
Yeah.
if they're maybe going to be able to just go for a
You'll only
Rayquaza
be able
rip.
to down
We're
the
seeing
goalpost from Team
Kabichans
KS
spread out at
also
the moment,
because
trying to guard for any back caps, but they are
yeah,
closing
we're
in
kinda
on to
thinking something
the
else.
Indians. And
Oh,
there's an
no!
immediate knockout onto the Blaziken. Vitoppo falling into that trap, and look at this, they've actually managed to catch Tomato and the support in a small choke point, but Duck,
So
he's
much
gone in deep.
damage.
He's already used his Unite move. There's not going to be no more Blastoise. 4v4, the fight continues though. This Sylveon barely surviving, just able to dash on out of there, and so far Kokoda, he's trying to hang in there.
Yeah, I mean, look
for
at
his
guys,
team.
look at
You
it.
see the Italian
Look at
extremely
how
low. He's
Team
going to have
KS
to try and
managed to
regroup with
catch.
the support if necessary, but Kakao,
Alright guys, thank you so much
he's
for
doing
watching
well
this
in
video. See you
Glaceon's
on next
gonna have to
game.
go for the
Please leave a
reset.
like this
True
channel,
Gravity, this
and
game
do
isn't over yet.
consider subscribing to this channel. You'll help this channel grows a lot, and thank you guys again for watching this video. See you guys on next game. Take care and peace.
Of Vitoppo, he's gonna be an absolute brawl. There's nothing that can really slow him down. There's no slow beam. There's no Hydro Typhoon.
They need the
They're
shields.
currently at the mercy of members of Team Kabichan as they make their way with the Rayquaza shields and the points. Guess what? You may have a slight lead initially, but we will bounce back in a very significant manner.
Oh, what quick thinking coming in from Kabichans. Yes, they saw the Slowbro coming in with the 80-point back cap, but they said, it's all right. All 5 of us here at the Rayquaza pit, we are certain that we are going to be able to lock this objective down. They take it, they wipe True Gravity, and they lock in game 1 of the Grand Finals. Kabichans, they're not here to play.
I mean, sure, of course, not for this round, not at this stage of the competition. This is the very series that will determine who is really the strongest in the Asia scene. But let's be honest here, Denali, right? Like, even yes, it was a fantastic catch on Vitoppo, right? You really nailed him with the slow beam here, really removed him from the variables here. But what happened afterwards as they were really chasing them down in such close quarter? Really not. Sadly, they don't really have someone similar to a cross-soul to try to lock them down in place to prevent certain escapes. However, while they're trying to chase them down, that's when you see Rom. Remember, Kabichan's composition isn't solely dependent on one player alone, one Pokemon trainer alone. Everyone is a damage dealer. Kokoda is doing great damage. Vitoppo is there as well as the all-rounder, but Rom is still the main target with the Italian. Do you know how much damage he did to the side here? For the side here of both Vulcan and Malin, instantly have to back off and pop the Unite move. One right click and instantly they just back up. They're like, okay, we can't do anything about it. Vulcan, although very wise to go for the dunk for the points at the bottom path, and even for Malin going to the top side. But then again, just so much commitment, and they just couldn't remove as much players as much as possible. Maybe if they managed to catch maybe 2 or 3 more players, then they might have a little bit more control of that pit.
Maybe Vitoppo was the trap all along. They said True Gravity, Vitoppo might be a Blaziken. Come for me, but leave Rom alone. There's a reason why there was multiple praising threads online of Rom's Inteleon yesterday. He plays this Pokemon so amazingly. But the good news for True Gravity, we have to also look at this from True Gravity's perspective. They don't have to deal with this Inteleon anymore. They're going to have to look at other options for Ron's Pokemon. Also not having to worry so much about the Venusaur as well as the Blaziken. And I think getting rid of Tomato's Crustle, they got to be pretty happy with that. Although being one game down in a best of 3 series and being a grand final series, the pressure is now on for True Gravity to turn things on its head for game number 2. If they want that reset, they're going to have to win these next 2 games back to back.
The thing is, here's the interesting factor, right? Now, they, of course, hope to win out with one of their best backline damage dealers, which is the Glacier. And by the way, ironically, Glacier is also one of the few metas currently in this series and this competition recently, or this season as well. But since they couldn't succeed with the Glacier, now it's going to be down to have their hands on the Inteleon here. So now this is going to be the real question, right? Will it be a ban option for the side here for Kabichans? Because I believe Team True Gravity still might actually still keep with the Umbreon ban for a fact and for sure. But what about Team Kabichans here? They have no access to the Inteleon, but that doesn't mean they cannot ban it out for the side with Team True Gravity.
I don't think Inteleon is going to be the issue for Kabichans. I think if anything, your priority bans, it's going to be the usual supports